Hey guys, it's PhilosopherKing. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. My opponent this time is Elope with me. A very provocative name for sure, but this was a good battle, so try to ignore that if you can. And we both lead T-Tar and Salamence respectively. And so I could stay in here, go for Rock Slide, but Salamence could be choice banded. So yeah, it may pose a problem if it is, because T-Tar would die from a Brick Break. But if it's not, I would take some damage from Earthquake or Brick Break for sure and kill his Salamence with Rock Slide. But neither of us feel comfortable staying in here, and we both switch out to our Melodics, which is pretty awkward. If his Melodic has Hypnosis and I stay in here and he puts me to sleep and his Salamence is choice banded, that would be bad, because then I wouldn't really have any way to deal with the Salamence. On the other hand, he could use Toxic, and I could use Toxic, and we could both exchange. But this early in the game, I'm really not feeling it. So I just go to Elope to take whatever status afflicting move he's probably going to use. And it's Toxic, so he probably doesn't have Hypnosis. Elope could go for Psychic here, go for Calm Mind, but I prefer Leech Seed because I'm assuming he's going to switch here. But he doesn't. Leech Seed connects, and he's really pushing me to switch out sooner rather than later. Toxic damage is recovered a bit from the Leech Seed, but I'm going to go for recover here, try to recover some more. And it's really not working out. I come out about even. I may have recovered a little more than I would have if I switched out initially, but not much. So now I'm going to be forced to switch out here and go to something else that doesn't want to take toxic damage, because this Melodic could spam Toxic and hit one of my pokes, which I do not want to happen. So I go to my Melodic, and I go to my Magneton, and Melodic indeed goes for Toxic, and my Magneton's just kind of smiling with 3 eyes and no face, and just says, "What's up?" I go for Substitute to scout out for Dougie. He goes to Claydol. I guess he doesn't have a good counter for the Magneton other than the Claydol. So yeah, I have HP Fire. I don't have any other HPs. I don't have HP Ice. I don't have HP Grass. So I can only do that amount of damage. But it's something, right? He breaks us up with Earthquake, and I'm going to be forced to switch out. I go to my Elope. He goes to Snorlax. And I'm fine with that. You know, I'll just go for Leech Seed, or after I go for Recover, that is. He'll go for Body Slam, no biggie. I'm just gonna go for Leech Seed, and he can just do whatever he wants. I don't really care. So that's what's gonna happen. Well, there's Self-Destruct. I totally forgot that Snorlax can learn that. So yeah, I'm not content to let him do whatever he wants, because that puts us in a 5-5 game. I mean, Elope, Snorlax, I guess it's a fair trade, but I haven't seen all his pokes yet, so who knows if that'll be important later on. But I know he's going to bring Melodic out so he can spam Toxic, and so I bring my Magneton. We both switch out right away, and we get Melodic on Elope. I think we're both tentative about who's faster, my Magneton being faster or his Melodic being faster. If his Melodic's faster, he'll have a bigger advantage. If not, I'll have an advantage. But yeah, we get this scenario we had before, Melodic on Elope, except it's reversed. My Melodic's against his Elope. And I go for Ice Beam, do 42%. He goes for Leech Seed. Sort of similar, except his Elope's not poisoned. I get out of there, and we both switch out. And we get T-Tar on Melodic, which I'm really confident in T-Tar's power right now. Choice banded T-Tar, it'll take a ton from Surf, but it's interesting to see how much damage this T-Tar would do with its Rock Slide. I'm thinking more than 50%, so I just go for Rock Slide. But it only does a measly 43%, so either I got a really low damage roll, or this Melodic's just really bulky and I just can't get through it just by brute force. So he goes for Recover, and I negate most of it, but he can just laugh at me, recover, and just go for Surf. So I am gonna have to switch out, and he does go for Surf. My Magneton takes 50%, which puts it in an awkward situation. If I'm not faster, and he goes for Surf, my Magneton will die. But if I am faster, his melodic will die. So, interesting. I decide to take the risk, go for Thunderbolt. He's not feeling it. He goes to Claydol. Thunderbolt does nothing. Claydol laughs at Magneton. And so, I don't, like I said before, I can't really hurt the Claydol in any way with Magneton. So, switcheroo. Earthquake, 18%. Melodic laughs at it. Ha ha ha. And I can either go for Ice Beam or go for Surf. With what he's shown me so far, Ice Beam would do a ton to whatever he brings in. Salamence, Claydol, Celebi, what else? Yeah, those three. So he has 3 pokes that are weak to Ice Beam. And so I should go for that. Or I can just go for Surf. Or I can anticipate a switch and go for Toxic. So we'll see. Yeah, there we go. I go for Toxic, and he goes to Celebi. But the Toxic misses, so it's no big deal, I guess, for him. But it was kind of annoying for me, because I could have hit him with Toxic, force him to switch out right away after I used Ice Beam, blah blah blah. But didn't work out. My next Toxic connects, but he hits me with Leech Seed, so this is not going to last long. So I suppose I could outstall him here, go for Recover. Leech Seed's not going to do a lot, but Toxic will progressively do a lot to Celebi, even if it recovers, so I could stay in here. But I decided not to, go to Magneton and Melodic once again. This sort of rivalry going on between the two. Melodic stole Magneton's cookies, and Magneton's pissed, so he's like, give me back my cookies, and Melodic's like, no, I'm gonna eat them, and he ate them. So now they're at war with each other over the cookies, and looks like he can go either way at this point. I go for Thunderbolt. He doesn't want to risk staying in again, and so yeah, Claydol takes the Thunderbolt. Claydol's kind of in on this war too. He's like, Melodic's my best friend, you can't take the cookies from him. So yeah, it's 2-on-1, which is completely unfair. And he shows me a poke I haven't seen before, which is Raikou, which is really dangerous if I didn't have a Dugtrio. So assuming this Raikou is not modest, which most aren't, I should be able to take out the Raikou here, even if it subs up. If you EV the Dugtrio correctly, it can't survive a Hidden Power Grass or Ice from the Raikou. So yeah, I go for Earthquake, break the sub. He goes for HP, Grass, or Ice. Don't know which, but I don't really care because the Raikou's gonna die next turn. And yep, bye Raikou. So we're at a 5-4 game. He answers with Salamence right away, and I'm locked into Earthquake, so I can't do anything. So he's gonna get a free turn, and I don't feel like waiting. So yeah, as we get Gyarados coming in on the Salamence. I don't believe the Salamence is gaining leftovers, so I'm assuming it's Choice Banded, which means the Salamence is locked into Earthquake, which means I get a free switch. Or, excuse me, I get a free attack. So yeah, we'll see what he wants to do here. And I go for HP Fly. Does 25%. And Melodic's within kill range. And I don't know if Hidden Power Fly just got a low damage count, but I really don't want to get hit with Toxic, but I don't want the Melodic to recover, so I'm really opting just to go for it. And I do 27% for Hidden Power, so yeah, 25% was about average, and which is unfortunate because now the Melodic is at half health, and I can't really do anything to stop it from using another recover and getting back to full health. So yeah, this Melodic's pretty much the central force of the game. And so I just bring my Melodic in. I realize now I really have no way to hurt it. I mean, yeah, I really don't. So I have Magneton, but it can't switch in safely. And so I just decided to go for Toxic. His Toxic misses, so that's good. That's a bit of hacks in my favor. But my Melodic is at half health, and so if I have to bring it in against the Salamence, I won't be able to. So I hope he doesn't like catch on onto that, because Hidden Power Fly from Choice Band Immense will 2-hit KO the Melodic, and so I wouldn't be able to switch it in against the Salamence reliably. So I decide to go to Magneton, assuming he'd go for Psychic again, but he goes for Surf. Good prediction on his part, and he does decide to stay in this time and just go for it. And so he KOs my Magneton. So Melodic gets to keep the cookies. It's very sad. Justice was not served today, but you know, life's unfair. But on that cynical note, I bring Melodic in, and I go for Recover. He misses Toxic again, so yeah, maybe karma's at work here. Melodic stealing the cookies. Bad karma. 2 misses with Toxic. Not good. So I get my Melodic at full health, and his Melodic is just really getting low on health. I just decided to go for Ice Beam, assuming he'd switch, because Ice Beam would do a ton to pretty much anything he switched in. And yeah, goes for Recover. I don't really care. I'm just going to keep going for Ice Beam, spam Ice Beam. He can recover, keep trying to recover all he wants, but that toxic damage is going to accumulate, in which case he will eventually switch. So if I were him, I'd switch now rather than later, so you can get as much health preserved for a future turn. So yeah, he gets the hint, he gets out of there. Ice Beam does 92% with the crit, which means that Claydol is really invested in special defense. I mean, there's always investment in special defense for Claydol, but I didn't think it would be that much where I'd only do 41%, or excuse me, like 46% against the Claydol with Ice Beam. I thought it would do more. But the crit helps me out here, and so I take out the Claydol. So we're at a 4-3 game. Celebi comes in to answer, and he could go for Leech Seed and just annoy the crap out of me, force me to switch. But he'd have to take a pretty good chunk from Ice Beam. But he predicts correctly as I go to Doug Trio in anticipation of Leech Seed. And yeah, I won't be able to take out the Celebi with the good old-fashioned HP Bug from the Dougie. So yeah, I answer with Gyarados, so this is definitely going to force him to switch. He'll probably go to Melodic to take it, and yeah. Or he just may go to Gyarados and just deal with it that way. Salamence is a good way to deal with Gyarados. And I go for HP Fly. He stays in for some reason. I really don't know why. That HP Fly really hurt, and with Leech Seed, yeah, I don't know. I guess he'd recover enough damage off, but with Leech Seed plus Recover, but I would be faster, so I assumed he would switch, and that's why I go to my T-Tar, but it doesn't work out. He stays in. I go for Rock Slide instead of, you know, being brave and going for Focus Punch. If I had gone the Focus Punch, I probably would have killed the Melodic, but now he's going to get the chance to recover again. So yeah, that stinks. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just bring my Melodic in once again, because I don't want anything else to get hit with Toxic. So yeah, he goes for Recover. He's probably going to go for Recover again. I go for Surf. He decides to go for Toxic, but Toxic damage is accumulating on his side pretty heftily, so he's going to be forced to switch or go for another Recover. Probably the latter. He does go for the latter. Good for him. Good for him. Just annoy the crap out of me. And so I'm just going for Ice Beam, Ice Beam, Ice Beam. But eventually I'll be forced to switch too, because now I'm poisoned. Though Marvel Scale activates for me, so I am safer against the Salamence. And I decide to spam Toxic, thinking he'd switch, but he doesn't. I just take damage for nothing. So yeah. I go to T-Tar. He goes to Celebi, so pretty good switch on my part. I can go for Focus Punch in anticipation of Melodic, but I could go for HP Bug too and just try to kill the Celebi. So it's either the direct approach or the indirect sneaky approach. I go for the direct approach because I'm bold and fearless, and it doesn't pay off. Melodic's just like, Yeah, seriously? That's all you got? So now he's going to get a chance to recover, and I have to bring my melodic once again. I feel like I've said melodic like probably 100 times so far. It just feels like it. Melodic, melodic, melodic. 103 now. So yeah, I go for recover. He brings Elope in. And now we're just kind of playing mind games at this point. We really have no way to hurt each other's teams. His Salamence is keeping me from setting up with Gyarados. Also, the threat of Toxic from the Melodic is also keeping that from happening. I'm keeping him from sweeping with Salamence with my Melodic. And my T-Tar is just, I guess, putting pressure on him to recover once in a while with Melodic. But we really have no way to deal with each other's teams. The T-Tar is Choice Band, so eventually it will get worn down, but right now it's at full health, and I've been switching it in carefully on predicted recovers and predicted switches. So yeah, I have this opportunity to go for either HP Bug or Focus Punch, and the last couple times it really hasn't worked out. So yeah, I go for HP Bug again, just being really direct about it, not really predicting a switch, thinking he'd know I predict a switch and just stay in for Focus Punch, which would really stink, but he's just been straightforward about it. He's just been switching, and I should pick up on that. So next time that situation occurs, I'm going to go for Focus Punch. So yeah, I go for Recover, and I get Elope once again facing me with its little pixie face and its onion body. Sometimes when I think of Elope, I think, why didn't they keep it banned? Because it's really annoying. I mean, it's manageable, but it really centralizes the metagame. Like, you have to have something for Elope. You just got to. I mean, and it's just bulky enough where, you know, it could sometimes it can put up a pretty good fight against its counters. I mean, like T-Tar, the Elope can have Giga Drain, and if the T-Tar is at low health, it can take out T-Tar. I mean, Dougie is pretty much one of the reasons why Elope isn't used even more. But I digress. I go for Focus Punch in this situation, in this same situation I've been in against this Elope, and he stays in, which is pretty unbelievable for me. I mean, he knows I'm going to use HP Bug. He just had to know I was going to use HP Bug, but he stayed in. I mean, cost-benefit analysis, it's like, you damage your Melodic a bit, or you just let your poke die. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But it paid off for him, so I'm going to be forced to switch, get out of the Leech Seed, because T-Tar is not going to like that at all. And I'm locked into Focus Punch, so yeah, that stinks. So I go to my Melodic. Psychic does 82%, and I'm at 108. So I should live here, barring a crit. There's no Specs drop, so I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, I'm just going to go for recovery here and hope that he doesn't get a crit. Because if he does, it's game over. Pretty much. And he's thinking about it. He's thinking, like, should I go for it, or should I just go for Recover or Leech Seed? Come on. He goes for Leech Seed. He doesn't bother going for Psychic. He knows, that, I guess, that I'm going to live. So he just goes for that. Eventually he's going to run out of Leech Seed, though, in which case he's not going to be able to force me out as often. He could go for Calm Mind, but my T-Tar is probably keeping him from doing that, since he probably only has Psychic, Leech Seed, Recover, Calm Mind. But I haven't seen Calm Mind yet, so I don't really know. And this is taking too long, so here we go. Yep, Melodic on T-Tar. That's not good. So I go to Melodic once again. He goes for Surf. And now I'm going to recover, probably. Yep, that's what happens. And we got Elope on Melodic again. Goes for Leech Seed. I go for Ice Beam. The Leech Seed misses. Ice Beam does 37%. So he's probably going to recover here. And in that case, I can bring in T-Tar for free. I mean, he's got to go for recover here, because if I go for Ice Beam and he doesn't use it, goes for Leech Seed or something, Sandstream will kill. So, yeah, he does what he's supposed to, and I bring T-Tar in for free. Now, go for HP Bug or Focus Punch. I mean, the best thing for him to do is not stay in at all. Go to Melodic, and just continue this endless cycle. But he goes for Leech Seed for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, and HP Bug takes him out. So, yeah. Then he answers with Salamence. And that's not good. If he somehow decides to go for HP Fly or something and I stay in, Rock Slide may not kill with the Intimidate drop. But yeah, I'm not going to wait to find that out. So I go to Gyarados, he goes for HP Fly, and he gets a crit, which it still would have done a ton, but it would have killed the Gyarados, and the Intimidate from the Gyarados would have prevented that from happening. And yeah, then Intimidate doesn't matter because the crit doesn't care about you know, stat drops or stat increases. And Hidden Power Fly takes out my Gyarados. So yeah, we're at a 2-2 game. T-Tar versus Salamence. Melodic versus Melodic. Who will win? I believe my opponent has a bit of an advantage. His sweeper is faster, and the amount of power my T-Tar has, though greater, doesn't really matter because it can't really do anything against Melodic, and he's not going to stay in against the T-Tar with his Salamence. So yeah, I mean, what he has to do here is like what he did just now, get his Salamence in against my Melodic at a low level of health and try to take it out. He won't be able to, he would normally be able to in this case, but Earthquake, or excuse me, Marvel Scale keeps that from happening. He goes for Rock Slide, going for a flinch, and that would have been really annoying. I would have had another attempt to go for recover, but I really wouldn't want to let it come down to that. So yeah, so I go for recover. He's probably going to switch out here. He doesn't want to risk for Ice Beam or something like that, which would be really bad. So yeah, I go for recover just to make sure he doesn't go for Rock Slide and I get a flinch, and yeah, that would be bad. So I know it's coming, and I know his Melodic's probably faster than mine, so I didn't bother going for Ice Beam, even though the Melodic was at low health. I could have tried, and it would have been interesting to see what would happen. The toxic damage would have taken it out, but yeah, I just go to T-Tar here, and I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna go for Rock Slide. Surf would do a lot, but I don't think it would have killed. So yeah. And he goes to Salamence. I'm not sure why. Actually, I think I made a bit of a blunder by going to T-Tar. But yup. Now all I gotta do is Toxic Stall the Melodic, and I should win. Maybe he was anticipating Focus Punch on me anticipating a recover. Focus Punch wouldn't do more than 50%, given how bulky the Melodic is and Marvel Scale. So really no reason for him to do that. But you know, he counters my mistake with his mistake, and I came out on top. So yeah, I could stay in here, just take the Surf, but you know, there's really no reason to. I mean, I could bring my Melodic in and just Toxic Stall him, and if my toxic damage does accumulate, I could just go to T-Tar and then just like come back in and just recover off damage and just start the whole process again. Either way, he's gonna not be able to do this. So either he's gonna forfeit, or he's just gonna make me go through this long process. And I believe he does forfeit. Yeah, go for Surf. This is not happening. Yeah, he forfeits. So yeah, final score is 2-0 in a very interesting and very stallish match. Yeah, don't you love Melodic and Celebi now? Totally use them. They're great. Rate, comment, subscribe, and hope you liked the battle. Let me know in the comments, and look forward to the next battle.